take a trip down memory lane and spill all of the small town tea. I'm your host, KP Parker, and this is Town Gossip. Good afternoon, Grizzlies. We are going to the great state of California, one of the best to ever do it. And we're specifically going to Granite Bay because we have an amazing guest, Paige Gallagher, who is from there. But before we get started, let's talk California. I'm going there soon. I'm going there in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be taking a big old jet plane to LAX airport. I like airports. I really don't have too much that hasn't been said a million times to say about airports. I will say that I feel like I am the only one doing it in my specific way because there's almost nowhere that I've seen that has so many tens of thousands of different approaches to the way that you can do an airport. The way that I do it, and this might be really, really unique, is I treat it as if it's a building, a regular building, on our way somewhere. And that's not what I'm getting from most of you. I'm not getting that vibe when I'm in there. What I'm getting is some people think it's like a plane-themed amusement park where laws don't exist. And it's also half prison yard, half prison experiment. I am shocked, and it goes on a huge spectrum, doesn't it? So I'm seeing some people that I travel with, 9:30 a.m. savory martinis, which, by the way, we could have a whole conversation on the devilish things that you guys are putting in martinis these days. Savory martinis are scaring me, and I like savory things, but to get to a point where in a Bloody Mary we're having a full sort of Looney Tunes sandwich on a toothpick. And also I saw someone mix a blue cheese martini, not as a garnish. The juice is blue cheese. Huh? It's getting crazy. A sardinatini? Get real. That's fish, mama. That's fish you're drinking. I don't know. I don't have baleen in my mouth to try and get the krill down. I think you're getting too crazy with it. It's 9:30. We're not jet lagged. We're coming from our house and we're going to your nephew's first birthday party in Wisconsin. There's no reason to be drinking a martini at 9:30. I hope to goodness LAX welcomes me because I love California and I'll be there quite soon. And I love to welcome the very, very amazingly funny Californian, Paige Gallagher. Hi, Paige.
Hi, how's it going?
Thanks for coming on.
Of course, thanks for having me. I feel so warm and welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you. You're Granite Bay's own, true?
Yes.
Okay, you moved around though, or it was always pretty much Granite Bay?
It was mostly Granite Bay.
Okay, great.
So kind of crazy. I grew up in Granite Bay.
Yep.
Went to freshman year of high school there.
Okay.
Moved to Santa Barbara for my dad's job.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And then moved back. So I spent the majority of my sophomore year in Santa Barbara, moved back to Granite Bay like 3/4 into the year.
Okay.
Went back to Granite Bay High School.
Yep.
Hated it. Went to a different high school, but in the area.
Yeah. And
for
this
the
is
remainder of high school.
a Sacramento suburb kind of, or like Sacramento nearest big city type thing?
Sacramento nearest big city.
Okay.
I would say like downtown Sac is probably about 45 minutes away from Granite Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like its own thing. It's doing its own thing.
It's doing its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You moved back, wasn't the vibe anymore.
Right.
Did you know some of the people you had met freshman year, but it was just like...
Yeah, it was just, they were all people I grew up with.
Yeah.
And it just like wasn't the vibe. It got really cliquey. And my little sister started high school that year too. And she started to get bullied. And I was like, we're done. Absolutely not gonna work. And so I was like, we had a bunch of friends at a different high school, a neighboring high school.
Great.
And I was like, we gotta transfer. It was one of those things. We just had to do it.
And also if there's another one in town, you can just get there. Great. At least it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. And I had a car by then. Like I was driving by then. So it was no sweat off my parents' back. I just drove my sister and I to school. And then finished it there and loved it. It was pretty nuts going to 3 different high schools.
That is also really nice of you. I think if my sibling heard I was getting bullied, I think they would join in a doubling down way.
Oh,
but it's like you did the nice
thing.
One or the other.
Well, it's one or the other. And it's like, hey, they were taking power away from me. Yeah. I had to be the biggest bully. We got to get out of here.
I need to traumatize her. Yes. You guys aren't doing it right.
Right. No, exactly. I had to do it my way or the highway.
Yeah. Okay. But, Granite Bay. What was the other high school?
It was called Oakmont.
Okay.
In Roseville.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to look up some Granite Bay drama and I saw Roseville's pretty much if you're looking for drama, Roseville's got the same.
It kind of goes hand in hand.
Great.
It's a very, I would say more so Granite Bay is very conservative white neighborhood and like gated communities and stuff. And Roseville is a little bit more middle class, I would say. Okay. It's definitely more chill. For lack of a better word. It's more chill in Roseville. You can vibe out
a little harder there.
A little bit harder in Roseville than you can Granite Bay.
Yeah.
And it was a very like Christian. The weird thing about Granite Bay, what I noticed is like, so I grew up religious, but because of me, like my parents were not religious.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. And then I saw all of like in elementary school, I saw all of the cool kids going to church. And I was like, I want to be a cool kid. Totally. I got to go to church.
I mean, this is what I have. I was just saying, I have my Granite Bay best friend, and all
which
of
is
his,
crazy.
Yeah. He's from Granite Bay, and I met all of his friends many, many times from Granite Bay.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what kind of guys were you? And they were hyper Christian.
Yes.
And it was like, and I think you were right. Like, because I was like, oh gosh, like their parents must have been strict in this and this and this. And they were like, not really.
No.
They were just themselves young Christians.
Young
and like,
Christians.
We're looking for other Christians to hang out and dated the other girl Christians. And like went to, was there a mega church nearby? Was that it? Okay.
Yeah. Big mega church, which is now sort of like a franchise. They got like different locations and stuff, which is pretty nuts. And all the cool, like popular hot kids went to that mega church on, Wednesday nights we had like the small group. And that's where you kind of like flirt with your crush. Like it was like it was a big thing.
I mean, it's like your social life seems to be like you're goofing around Christian style.
It's nuts.
It was really crazy to hear. I was like
mini shorts too, like Abercrombie and Fitch, the ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was not like thinking back to it, I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
It's really, really, it was really nuts. And so I thought I was Christian because I wanted to be popular, I think.
Honestly, it gets all looped in there where you're just like, well, it's also like, it is the social life. There's a bunch of other young people.
Yeah.
It's not like doing any, I was gonna say it's not doing any harm. Depends how you take it.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah, it definitely was the root of a lot of good, but also a lot of harm. And also it was so funny because like we would like party after. Yeah. We would like go to the park and smoke weed after.
Totally. And you're like,
or like steal.
No worries.
Yeah, like actively steal bottles of Smirnoff from the CVS down the street. Go to church. It was so crazy. It was nuts. Like it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a good time.
Sure. Yeah. That is wild. That were your parents like, oh, go off, I guess, that you want to be Christian.
Yeah. I think I think all of our parents were like, absolutely go to church. Yeah. Like that is so cool. Like, fuck yeah, we did something or I don't know. And we would just go to church and fuck around.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a loophole. You know what I mean? Like
we're allowed to say we're Christians and therefore we maybe get a looser leash.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that was the case with a lot of us. Yeah. And my parents were like, okay, cool. Yeah. Go to church 3 times a week. Little did they know. I was getting fucked up. Yeah, I was goofing off.
I was able to use that a good amount when I did start drinking, which was like later than, some people. Sure. It was still in high school. But my mom would be like, you're not going to a party, right? And I'm like, Mom, I'm a theater kid. Who's inviting me anywhere? And I was like, you can use that for a little bit. And then I was like, no, I am getting invited places. But I'm like, yeah, Mom, my musical theater friends. Can you imagine us drinking? I was like, no, we were definitely getting.
No, absolutely. Well, theater kids got a little freaky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I was low-key a theater kid as well. But I would do theater at the private all-boys Catholic school.
Okay.
After school, and nobody knew.
Yeah.
It was kind
things
of
go
like
down.
Things go down at the all boys Catholic school. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they did like open auditions because obviously
they
all
girls.
boys.
Yeah.
And most of the girls there were from the Catholic all girls school.
Oh sure.
But I found out about it. I don't know how.
Like I'll get in.
The
Catholic
there.
girls are like, no, wait. These are ours. Hold on.
No public. I was like the only public school girl to like infiltrate that little world, and
they're pent up.
Yeah.
They're
Hello,
pent up
Dolly.
over there.
Like it was nuts.
One of the hottest musicals you could be a part
of.
One
of the hottest
One of the most
dare I say
sexy musicals you can do.
Very sexy. Hello, Dolly.
Yeah. I know.
So
but
it was nuts.
To the parent, to my mom, she was like, oh, so true. Who's inviting the musical theater dorks? And I was like, I'll pull that.
That's really
I'll pull
smart.
that far.
Yeah.
And it's not like we were cool, but even the not cool kids find alcohol. Come on.
Of course.
The dorkiest people were ripping some joints.
They were doing a lot of
We were making
stuff.
it work.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
We made it work, especially if you had one friend with a neglectful parent, which we did.
Yeah. I think every friend
always out of town.
One. Yeah. Always out of town.
Bummer.
Always
out of town, and a mom that just like a single mom that really craved male attention. Ooh, she was going everywhere.
Oh my God, that was mine too. Yeah. My friend, Bummer. It was the night of my first kiss and the first time I got drunk was at this girl's house because her mom just like left us.
Totally.
And it was like a dirty Shirley.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
And then I kissed some boy that was like 2 years older than me or something. Same night at that house. Parents always gone. Wild.
Yeah. I mean, great for us. But
I'm very thankful for that night, I will say.
Yeah. There was people fully porking around at this girl because she would do sleepovers because it was like, well,
yeah,
the mom's not around for the weekend. So everyone can sleep over. And everyone would just say, oh, I'm going to this person's house, or you make up some other house, and people would sleep over and you'd be having underage sex there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was your what would you tell your parents if you wanted to have a sleepover? Was it like a movie night, or was it like, oh, I'm just gonna have a sleepover? Did you have a go-to? I
really couldn't get away with it that much because my mom was really not neglectful, which is great.
We love her for that.
Yeah, love that. But it was like she had to know the mom, and she would call the mom to be like, just to confirm.
She's smart.
I know.
She's a smart one.
I know, but I think I would end up saying, this person with neglectful parents, because my mom would call and they'd be like, yeah, that's fine. She can stay over, knowing that she wasn't going to be there. And I was like, great.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of clutch. Yeah.
It's clutch, but sad.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey. At the end of the day, in hindsight, it is sort of sad.
Totally. But it worked out. But I wasn't able to get away with very much.
Did you ever sneak out?
I did one time. I told the story, but I did one time made it to the tree in my backyard before my mom was like, what's going on? What's going on? Came out and I was like, sorry, just getting some air. Yeah. She's a light sleeper and extremely paranoid of kidnapping. So
I mean, fair enough.
That would be me as a mom
hell.
Really?
Yeah.
She was so paranoid we were getting pedophiled or kidnapped. God bless. I mean, but I just had to be like, Mom, we're not even near another house. I guess that is scarier because she grew up in the city. So she's probably more scared of that.
Of course.
Because she's just like, yeah, this is where kidnappings could happen.
It's true.
You run into the woods. So.
You disappear.
No, it's my mom did it right. But I was like, man, I can't get away with anything. You were able to sneak out?
I did it a few times successfully. Yeah. There was one night that I did get caught because I just went through the front door. I just sort of walked out and I was like, that's so smart.
I just did the craziest plan.
I was like, it's so obvious they won't even see it. And I'm like, well, they sort of did.
That's sort of the thing about that.
Yeah. But I would go through the garage because it was on the other side of the house where my parents slept. So I would do that a few times, but I was also very anxious growing up. I couldn't get away with it because I was so I wasn't having fun.
Yeah, you're checking your phone at all times. And it's just being in trouble fucking sucked when you were a kid because they could take away a lot from you.
Yes.
You were like, now I have nothing to look forward to.
Exactly.
And really are taking it all.
Yeah, you're taking it all. And I was the oldest. Yeah. So it was a little bit stricter with me.
Sure. Yep.
Of course. Yep. And so it felt scarier. Yeah.
Yeah. It was often not worth it. Also, most of the things I was going to go to, I was like, we'll just do the same thing next weekend.
It's true.
We're just going to do it again. I'll be all right. And I also, God bless, really have never I'm not a FOMO girl. I'm so really
jealous of that.
Yeah.
I have FOMO of, you're no FOMO. I'm such a big FOMO girl.
I'm deeply fine with missing most things.
That's incredible.
I know.
What a
really,
superpower.
Thank you. I don't know when I developed it, but I kind of just am like, I've never once gone to, I don't know. I'm always very confident in the choice that I make with my time.
That's incredible.
I'm like, that's probably what I was supposed to do.
I love, have you always been that way?
Yeah, I think so. I really there was, when people would post pictures of their night out, I'd be like, you guys should have seen what I did. I hung out, did my own thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. Something, maybe I'm just, I don't know.
Sort of special in that way.
I'm not that confident about most other things, but I am often like...
It's give and take sometimes, I
yeah,
suppose,
with my
confidence.
time, I'm like, we can all day think of what could have been, but we just got to make a choice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm getting that tattooed.
And that's our episode, right? It feels like a good spot to end.
No, that was incredible. Yeah. I'm taking that.
Yeah, I'm not a FOMO girl. My ex was like really, his family was like FOMO manipulative masters in a good way. If you're listening to this, I love you guys. But it is like you make everything look really fun. And they're often they make it look, and it is a blast. Whoa. But it would be like, he's like, I think we got to go get on a plane this weekend because, yeah, I mean, they're taking the boat out. I'm like, yeah, they're always taking the boat out.
The
boat's always going to come out. We're going to be okay. We have to stay.
Funny.
I'm like, we're not getting on a plane to drink day beers on the boat. Although I would love to, but we just can't. We can't be doing it.
Yeah.
But it is like, some people, they make it look really nice. They want you to FOMO out.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people,
nice.
It's definitely a talent.
It's a talent.
It's
nice.
Something look that fun.
Okay. Granite Bay. You're bopping around. You're sneaking out. You're drinking, but you're Christian.
Yes.
Through it all.
I think you wrapped it up quite nicely.
What is a little bit of gossip from the Granite Bay Gazette?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
So the whole Christian of it all really plays a lot into the story. Mm-hmm. I think I was a freshman and I was on the cheer team. And so I looked up to a lot of the older girls and cheerleaders who were objectively horrible. We won't get into it, but they were very, very mean. Mm-hmm. And
a cheerleader being mean? Guys.
Shocking.
Write that down.
Crazy. It's crazy. To the freshman cheerleader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a little far-fetched, but go on.
Low-hanging fruit. And it's just, and then there were like a few of the core popular girls and guys, they would all date each other.
Yeah.
And there was like a few couples that were pretty dare I say, iconic in the high school. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There's like a few of them. They're just like, oh, it's just so-and-so and so-and-so.
And then at that age, also, you were like convinced that you're going to marry your high school sweetheart. So you're like, man, they're going to have beautiful babies.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, we're 14.
Yeah.
It's like not.
No, it's crazy.
It's not that serious. But we watch too many rom-coms and you're like, wow, they're long game.
You romanticize it. And I was so jealous of that. I didn't get a lot of male attention in high school. And so that's why I reverted to being funny. And that's sort of how we got here. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Mm-hmm. But there was this one couple and all of the couples went to this mega church and also held so many parties and were just like the craziest sort of drunks and going to church at the same time. And those were the people I looked up to the most, I will say. And there was this couple who was very vocal about their sex life.
Oh, my God.
Right. Very vocal about it and very proud of the fact that they didn't have traditional sex, but they would do anal a lot. Because that's how you stay a virgin in the eyes of God. And so they were obsessed with it and everybody knew and everybody was like, that's so crazy or that's so cool. Like we were really gaslit into thinking like, that's the dream.
Yeah.
And it was all the time. Like it was so crazy. One week, this girl, she doesn't show up to school for the whole week. And we're like, what happened? She came back and I have to preface, I did not hear this from her mouth. This is sort of rumor, but it is fact to me.
Absolutely. Most rumors are.
Yes, it is fact to me. Rumor has it, she, during anal intercourse, her asshole broke, sort of tore, and she had to go to the hospital and get an artificial sphincter.
Huh?
Yeah.
At 15 or 16?
Around there. Because I was 14. Yeah, she was.
My God.
Yeah. And so she had to have this artificial butthole for a time. And
you think it socked out?
I don't know the logistics of it. I was trying to look it up because I was like, is this true?
To look that up is so unfortunate. I'm like, no, just assume it. Don't
I literally was like, am I did I dream this or it actually that's what it was. And so, and it's temporary, right? It's until it
grows back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it grows back. until your asshole sort of grows back.
Get another asshole.
It heals itself. It's got
a donor from another asshole.
You got to get an asshole donor is what I've heard.
If I die, get the best part of me. It's the best.
It was just so crazy. And like she came back and she didn't deny it. And she was gone for so long. And so from then on, like to this, I think about her so much.
And was she cheering still? Or was her butt broken?
She did have to take some time off from cheering. I forgot about that part. She did.
Like,
it was like,
I'll lift her just so you're trying to get a peek on there. You're like, what's going on up there?
Like, it was so crazy. And they stayed together. And I don't know, like, what happened after that. But yeah, that was like a big hot goss.
Bummer. I mean, like, truly, yeah, you're not supposed to be getting it up the ass this many times when you're 15.
No, I was going to say, like, you're a child.
Truly don't
It is
risk
so crazy.
an artificial sphincter for that.
I didn't know it could happen. I haven't heard about it since, but apparently it's a real thing. And it's just such a tragic sort of story. But I mean, like I said, she didn't deny it. And she didn't really seem hurt or like disturbed by the rumor. So I feel like it's
set up sort of everyone knows my sex life thing. It's like, and
exactly
could just include a fake butthole,
right?
For a while.
Well throw it in there.
That's just part of that
because they're gonna remember it forever. And guess what I did?
Man, remembered it forever.
I remembered it forever.
Man,
isn't that so crazy?
That is really wild. There was a girl that was also cruelly mean in high school, and I knew her because I was friends with her twin, who was a deep nerd. And I was like, oh my God, I love her twin. And she was just really popular and like a total bitch.
Dang
and I was like, man, she sucks. Yeah. Whatever. I'm done with her. I graduated.
Right.
She went to a college nearby, but not my college. She went to a college nearby. I happened to start making friends with some of those college people. One of those guys starts dating her. And I'm like, no. I was like, really? And he was like really obsessed with her. He's like, man, the only thing is like, she only wants to do anal. And I was like, now we're talking. What else? I said, what else?
We are so back.
What else does she only do? I said, tell me more.
Yeah.
I said, oh, she's a butthole girl. No worries, by the way. But I was just like, when it's your girls. Shout out to my butthole girls. But when it's your only, I was like, now we got some.
Talking.
Now I just want. That's what I was missing.
Yeah.
I just needed a little something to make me feel better. And then I was like, good. Great.
That's really incredible stuff.
I know. I was like, no, now I'm going to have to hang out with her. And then I was like, I can hang out with her if I know this.
Right. You're like, no.
I can hang out with her if I know this.
No, I can hang out.
It's truly just like, it's not even a judgmental thing. It is just like, I just needed to know,
of course,
a little more about you to understand you.
You needed to humanize her a little bit.
And I've humanized her. Yeah.
That's really special.
It was really, really special.
Yeah.
There was also a girl from our high school that was really shy, but was dating the head football player.
Okay.
And she was really popular, but just like said maybe 10 words. She was fine.
I've known one of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, that's how you do it. That's great.
That's
and
how
she
you do
happened
it.
to like hang out with some of the theater kids just because her sister was always doing theater. And she was like nice and fine.
Yeah.
And her football player boyfriend was 6'10", 300. He was huge, like Jason Momoa.
Damn.
And she was 5'1". And it was always like, wow.
What's going on there?
And we were talking, just like, doing some rowdy talk, hookup talk or whatever. And the only words I ever heard her say was, how do you think it is for me? He's got a 9.5-inch dick. I said, oh my God.
Oh.
I said, yeah, queen.
I'm in love with her. That is
woman of
so
few words.
Fucking awesome. Queen. Yeah, queen.
Yeah. I think that's the only time I ever heard her speak. And I was like, what else is there to say?
Right.
What else is there to say?
She said enough.
Goddamn say.
Oh my God.
Because it was always like, she's tiny. And he is
so big.
Huge.
Whoa.
But they kept it classy. That was all I ever heard of it.
That is so incredible. I'm obsessed with her.
Nobody has a bad thing to say. If to be that popular, nobody has a bad thing to say. It's because you're quiet.
It's because you shut the fuck up.
It's because you shut up.
So true.
Yeah. Everyone liked her because it was like, she's just minding her business, cheering, dating the head cheerleader or head football player.
Yeah.
Great.
She's keeping it classy.
Kept it really classy and took a 9.5-inch.
Oh, the respect I have for this woman is crazy.
Beautiful stuff.
Did you ever have like the SoundCloud rapper?
Oh.
Did you ever have those?
Had a really notable one in college, but not so much in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Granite Bay was not so, it lacked in the SoundCloud rapper. genre, but it really showed up in like the Apple Music country artist.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? It's pretty nuts.
A lot of just indie cowboys.
Yeah. Cowgirls? As well. There's one girl who's popping off right now.
She's still doing it.
In a way.
Was she always doing it?
She actually led worship at the mega church that we all went to, of course.
Absolutely.
And she was mean. She was so mean and so beautiful. Like, to this day, like, she is one of the more beautiful people I've ever seen, but so mean. Like, so it's crazy. And so she was doing worship leading, and now she is some sort of country singer-songwriter.
Sure.
And
the
she's
pipeline's right there.
It's
the
right
pipeline's
there.
right there.
Yeah. And there's some other, cowboys who like moved to Nashville and like tried to do the music thing and then just ended up having babies.
Sure.
But she came up on my FYP the other day, one of her new songs about Granite Bay, and it's
about
so
high school?
Iconic.
Okay.
I don't know if it's about high school, but it's about Granite Bay in its entirety, I think. I don't know if she's like blaming Granite Bay. I don't know. It's hard to tell what she's trying to cook up there, but I'm on board.
Sure.
Give it to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like serenading Granite Bay as a whole.
Sure.
I'll show you after.
Please.
It's
sure. Why not?
It's pretty special. Yeah.
Some of the I had a mean Christian girl experience in middle school.
Whoa.
My best friend played the cello and then moved to a different school, but we were still trying to be best friends, of course. Hard when that happens, but you have to like really plan your hangs.
Yeah,
so it was
especially
like
so young.
I know. So it was like, okay, we got to get our calendars. Oh my God, we're like 10. We're like, oh my God, this is just like so stressful.
I was just like, my schedule's so filled up.
This is just a nightmare. And it was like, okay, we'll do like a sleepover. That way, it's like we can have 2 days. At your house. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay, I'm going to bring some of my church friends. I was like, no worries. Fun.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I don't believe in God these days. Because I had just gone through confirmation and I was like, this is kind of a crock of shit. Some of it just.
You were ahead of your time.
I think it was maybe like 12, but it was like right around there. It was right when I was doing confirmation and I was like, man, I really like the parts about Jesus because he seems nice.
Yeah.
I don't love the like, and roaches appeared in the sky. There's some of the magic stuff I was not identifying with.
Sure, yeah, the wizardry.
Some of the wizardry, I was like, I think Harry Potter was better written. If we could just do that.
I don't know.
And I was like, no worries. Oh my God, bring your church friends. Just so you know, I'm not really believing in God these days. Excited to hang. And she was like, okay. And then I was like, cool. Excited to meet your friends. I go to the slumber party. And I hope you can sort of see where this is going.
I can, and it's making me sweat.
Get there. Get in my sleeping bag, hang out, love her friends. Everyone's having fun. Right when I go to sleep, they start praying over me.
Oh,
yeah. All the girls gather around in that circle, and they're putting their hands on me and they're praying.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They're praying over me in a big way.
Culty shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
No, this was not like fun, goofy Christian church. This was like, this is your entire persona. Hands on me, praying all at once. Opened Bibles are opened. They have the Bibles opened. They're touching me, and I'm like, oopsies. Morning. What did I miss? And it goes into this like, why do you like interrogation? Like, why are you denouncing God? Why are you denouncing God? And this was right after my neighbor had passed from cancer, and I was like, I don't feel.
Get it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that age where you're like, what was the point? What was the point of losing that beautiful like woman to cancer? It doesn't make sense. And they were like, there's God's plans that you don't even know about. And I'm crying. It's because I'm sleep deprived. They're like waking me up. Oh my God. I'm crying. I'm just like, hey, I'd like to like go to sleep now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you've convinced me. I
believe in God.
I actually really like him now. I actually like think that if this is what he's up to, this is awesome. Yes.
I love this.
Get me in there.
Whoa.
But and I think I went home and I was like, Mom, I think I'm like good to just hang out with the friends I got in this town. I think I won't be hanging that much more.
That is traumatizing.
It was goofy. It was just, I was like, oh no, I really wanted to hang. And you're so touching
sweet.
me, praying over me.
That's so crazy. I accidentally got into like the super Christian side of Instagram Reels.
Oh my God, I'm all up in.
It is
fascinating.
There is this one video I saw last night, and it was like when you're just trying to get a workout and then everybody breaks out in worship, and it's this huge gym, and all of these people, like so many people are like just worshiping in the middle of this gym. It is so crazy. And somebody like whips out an acoustic guitar and is like, yeah, God, I just feel God in this moment. What are we doing? Pick up that weight.
I really like when it's like the teens doing it, because I'm like,
yeah,
guys, go hang, go out and goof around. They'll just be like, when you finally find a brother that wants to read the scripture more than he wants to fuck girls, and you're like, oh my God, guys, actually,
it's okay.
It's actually okay.
It's so
it's
crazy.
Actually, I know. I think it's really wild. I saw a video that's like slightly like this, but it's more conspiracy theory.
Give it to me.
The conspiracy theory moms, where they're just, well, I don't know, I'm like trad wifey. I'm on that one.
Yeah.
And a mom was pushing her 2 kids, and she's like, when you know you've raised them right, and the kid points at the sky and goes, look, chemtrails. And I was like,
what?
Yeah, that's a 4-year-old saying chemtrails.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you're insane. You're fully cuckoo.
You're fully cuckoo.
You're fully cuckoo bananas on that one.
What is going on Instagram Reels?
I love it over there. It's good stuff.
It's really good stuff. I went down a really deep hole last night, and I was unfortunately cry laughing. No offense to my fellow sisters and brothers in Christ, but
absolutely,
y'all are crazy.
Totally. I truly am like, some of you are goofy.
So it's goofy, and it's just like the performative aspect of it is like pretty nuts. And I think that like growing up in that and like seeing it from like an outside perspective, I'm like, wow, we got silly up in there.
Absolutely. But you are like, you think that is like the purpose of it all.
It's not so crazy.
Yeah. Totally. I got mine really early. I was in like 5th grade, and I met my current still great friend in CCD. And she was like, I hated your guts. You were so annoying. Because I re-met her in high school, and then we became like fast best friends. But she was like, no, we used to do church, and you were so annoying. Hand up at everything of like, maybe God wants us to. And do you think that like it was just, I was a know-it-all little Christian twerp. And I was just like, I think, and she always makes fun of this one, where I said, it was, CCD, whatever we're talking about. She was like, they were like, what are some metaphors for God? Because the lamb is a metaphor for God. The this and this. What are some metaphors you think? And I said, I think maybe God is like a trash can, because you can throw your worries in him. And my friend was like, all right, kill her. All right.
Off with her head. No, I kind of love that.
Thank you.
Yes.
God is a trash can. And she put that in her, I was her bridesmaid, and she was like, she put it in her little like, will you be my bride? She won't let me forget that one.
So sweet.
Yeah, she won't let me forget that. That's
and now
good.
I won't either.
It's good.
It's a good one.
I have some Granite Bay drama of my own.
I can't wait.
As I said, I have a best friend that was from Granite Bay.
I know, it's
and he told me,
crazy.
I was like, what are some things I should bring up? What should I talk about? And he was like, and this is not fun, by the way. Okay. It's not sort of a fun riff off here, but I watched the videos, and I am just like, nothing like this exists where I'm from. So I wanted to talk on it.
Yeah.
Every 15 minutes. Do you know every 15 minutes?
Oh my God. I had forgotten about every 15 minutes. Whoa, you don't know about every 15 minutes?
We didn't have that. And
it's a car crash thing, right? The drunk driving?
So it's the car crash drunk driving. This is where it's not fun. Okay. But it is a really good thing to talk about, which is like every 15 minutes drunk driving kill someone, I think is the whole sentence the whole message there.
Yeah.
But in California, what they're doing is it's Scared Straight vibes. And it is a dramatized, like the theater department gets involved. Stop me if I'm getting anything wrong here. The theater department gets involved with the police department, and they create an actual drunk driving crash in, the outside of your high school. Bloody up the kids. The kids are bloodied and laying all askew as if they've just been, and there's like a crunched up car that they're laying in. And then they do an entire dramatization that lasts all day. It's a 2-day experience. Yeah. And so you might be like, oh, well, that's good to just show the image. No, they're showing the entire story. The kids are bloodied out, and they're screaming, like, you've killed him. Somebody's cast as the drunk driving kid. The cops come, and here's where you've got me. A helicopter takes the kid away.
Yeah.
Helicopter descends onto the earth and takes the kid away. And my friend might have been yanking my chain on this. He says at one point the Reaper comes. And I couldn't see that in the video. But he was like, no, there was a Reaper that reaps the dead kid. And then you go in and I saw, because there's like somebody in charge of making the video for this. Like the theater department, I get, because my friend, he was like, oh, I wasn't one of the, because I was like, were you a dead kid? He was like, no, I was doing the documentary on it. And these are all on YouTube. Are they really? 40 of them on YouTube. I saw.
I gotta go.
Granite Bay has one for every year. So you can watch Granite Bays. You can watch Granite Bays until 2010.
Thank God.
You can watch it all the way back.
Okay.
And it's documentary chronicling this. And then there's a real coffin.
Yeah.
A coffin.
Yeah.
With the dead kids' obituaries.
It's like a whole service. Yeah.
You have a service for these dead kids.
Mm-hmm. It's nuts. I had forgotten about that. And I do have to get something off my chest.
Yeah.
I was jealous of the dead kid. I wanted to be
You're
the dead
in a
kid.
safe space here. I texted my friend. I said, I wouldn't want the role of backseat of grieving kid. I would want the front seat.
I wanted to be that dead kid so bad. I wasn't even in the scene. I was like, ugh. Like the whole day I was like,
I could have played that.
No, literally I was like, you're doing it wrong. Like, it's just so.
I see him breathing.
Yeah.
So.
Like you're not breathing right. Like it's just so, I got so mad.
Yeah.
And I think I was just like, like I wanted the
like the point has been missed on me.
Yeah, I wanted the service attention.
Absolutely.
Because it was so wild because they made it so dramatized. And that's the thing about Granite Bay, like the performative aspect of like the Christians and like the megachurch and like this stuff. Like it was very like the whole town was very performative.
Yeah.
And it's just that's what I think like my sort of beef with it is, especially with like the whole church of it all. Like all good about believing in God and shit, but like when you make it like a performance and use it as like, you know what I mean?
You're taking away the authenticity of it.
Yeah, it's just so crazy. And I think that's what this does. And kids got into it because like for like weeks they'd be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're not dead. Like it was so crazy. Also, I was just jealous they didn't get to go to class.
Of course. They are bloodied up. And my friend was like, no, they have to wear like ghoul makeup after they're dead. You have to dress like a ghost.
Oh my God.
I was like, no, they're in ghoul makeup.
This is so crazy. I must have hid this so deep because I was so pissed that I didn't get cast as the lead role.
I would be right there with you. I'd be like, who's got the most lines here?
No, literally, I'm like,
does anyone have a stage kiss?
Yeah.
Who's got a stage kiss?
Give me the stage kiss. God damn it.
Stage kiss one. Anybody doing prosthetics?
Yeah. Give me some blood up in here. And and I think like for me, they chose like, they knew who the cliques in Granite Bay are so apparent.
Got it.
They're so apparent. Like even the like admin and stuff knows what's going on. They know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, of course.
And so they would choose like the popular kids.
Sure.
Of course, it's like give him something else, like whatever. And so they would choose the popular kids, but I don't think the kids who were chosen were allowed to tell anybody that they were doing it.
Oh my God.
And so the day of, you didn't know
who was like,
Who's gonna die? And so like some of their friends, and they were like, oh my God, my friend.
It is not
nuts.
Well, I don't know. Listen, it's for a good cause, but 2 days?
No.
You're doing it so long. It is so long.
It's so long, and you're also
so
like
elaborate.
Missing the point. Like
the helicopter's crazy. That one I was
it's crazy.
Okay, yeah, it's just a police department that wants to show they have a helicopter.
Yes.
It's just you're trying to
because they got nothing else to do in little Granite Bay. There's not much going on.
And a kid got to ride it. I saw the YouTube video. I watched this entire 15 minutes. Like truly, I was like,
to go back and watch it because I didn't know that
kids
they were
up
on
the
YouTube.com.
They're on YouTube.com. A lot of them, like a lot. And the documentary style is crazy. Refreshing. It's incredible. You're right there in the kid's face. I sent pictures to my friend watching, and I was like, "There's just no way. This is insane." Funny. Yeah, a kid strewn. On the football field. They did this one on the football field. Yeah.
I don't know if ours was ours on the football field? I remember getting up close and personal to the crash.
Yeah.
You like can walk up and like, that is so nuts.
So wild. Listen, I actually really love immersive theater, and I do think it more often than not, if it's on political issues, like I think it does the trick. I think it's really, really effective. I think, you know, that's a lot. That one's a lot. And I would be right there with, I would be like, to not choose me is such a disservice to your point. I could have,
no, literally, I was like,
I could have played this so well.
You could have chosen the underdog. Like, you had to go with the obvious choice. Like, missed opportunity.
It was huge missed opportunity. Wow.
It was that's so funny. I have to go watch this YouTube.
Really crazy. Yeah, watch that.
Minutes. Are there t-shirts? Did they make t-shirts?
I didn't see a t-shirt. Truly the Coffin. I was stuck on the coffin for a while because I was like, they're wheeling a coffin in to an auditorium so that you can mourn. And kids were crying. A ton of kids were crying.
I know.
Because you have to give a eulogy. There was kids giving eulogies and they were like, he was so electric. He was so vibrant. I was like, he's sitting somewhere in ghoul makeup. He's wearing ghoul makeup on.
Yeah.
And people were full sobbing giving eulogies.
Yeah. Yes.
That is wild.
I think I cried. I don't think I was friends with any of the kids that got chosen personally, but I definitely cried because I was like, could have been me.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
also wanted attention.
100%.
It was so wild. That's so crazy.
It's really wild. Shall we see what the heck they're doing in other parts of the world?
Yeah, I would love.
Let's see if they're going off like we are. Oh my God. This is really global.
Really?
Yeah. This is New Plymouth in New Zealand.
Whoa.
Okay. Kiwis.
Down under.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is exciting. All right. And I'm seeing a lot of caps, so you know this is going to be good. Somebody's yelling.
Oh my God. I'm locked in.
Okay. It was just after high school in 2022. I was going to the library because I had forgotten to return some books. When I rounded the corner to the entrance, I saw a girl leaning on the wall. No biggie, or so I thought. I walk inside, do my thing, and start to leave. When I walk back outside, the girl pulls me to the side and asks, "Hey, is blank your boyfriend?" I was so obviously confused because I'd never met this girl in my life, yet she knew my boyfriend. Oh, no. So I said, yeah, why? We got an in-person hey girly message.
I was just going to say, this sounds like a hey girl DM.
This is a hey girl DM.
Whoa, okay.
In person? Oh, boy. This bitch proceeds to tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, I support.
Come on, girl.
This bitch proceeds to tell me that he was currently in jail, waiting for someone to bail him out because he got a DUI, drunk driving. Drunk driving?
That is crazy.
Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes. Whoa. They got to do every 15 minutes in New Zealand, apparently.
Waiting for someone to bail him out because he got a DUI the night before. My first thought was, holy shit, he said he wanted a quiet night in. Oh, boy. That was your mistake. Believe
Girl,
in that.
Yeah.
They don't ever want a quiet night
that
in.
Is,
they don't know peace. How could they want a quiet night in?
He wanted a quiet night.
Night in, sure.
That's strange. He wanted a quiet night in.
My boyfriend?
Wait a second.
No. He was reading his Kindle last night.
I'm confused.
So then I asked the girl some questions and all that, trying to figure out the details of how she knows my boyfriend. Turns out I was the side piece and this girl was his fiance.
No. That's like,
you hate to hear that.
That makes my stomach hurt.
You hate
That's
to
like
hear
kind
that.
of worst case scenario. Damn.
How she found out I was dating her fiance is still a mystery to me. Why she felt the need to find me and tell me he was in jail instead of bailing him out herself is the bigger mystery. The story doesn't end there, though. No. This somehow became a town-wide gossip. Somebody said town gossip? Okay. Town-wide gossip session about him and his fiance because apparently after that interaction at the library with me, she went home and tried to kill him when he returned from jail. Well.
Is that it?
No, we got a little more. So now she's in prison for attempted murder. The town gossiped about this for months, and it was crazy because everyone totally disregarded the cheating because of the attempted murder. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You, unfortunately, you gave him an out on that one.
I was just going to say, that checks out.
Let him stew in his embarrassment before you go and try and kill him. But I did break up with him not too long after it happened. Sorry.
Wait.
Not too long after.
I broke up with him eventually. Guys.
Minutes? Are we talking, I would hope, minutes?
Yeah. How long is not too long?
Oh my God. But I did break up with him not too long after it happened. In hindsight, probably not soon enough, given the fact that I was the side piece, but to each their own.
Oh my God.
No.
That is good stuff.
That's really good stuff.
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so lots of questions.
So he's got a DUI.
Yeah.
He didn't have a quiet night in. He's got a fiance.
Yeah.
He's in jail. Let me ride this out.
Yeah.
Let me date him for a little more.
Let me just see what happens next.
Hold on. He has a heart of gold.
Yeah. Wait, hang on a second. He originally wanted a quiet night in. Okay? We don't know what happened after that. I might also question it that I do agree, like, why was his fiance being like,
hey, he's in jail.
Did she want her to bail him out?
It sounded kind of like it. It was like, instead of bailing him out herself.
Yeah, because she was like...
And I have to ask, did you bail him out?
I know.
I have to ask.
It sounds kind of like maybe yes.
A little like you bailed him
out. You bailed him out and you continued to date him while his fiance was locked up.
A fiance. Yeah, and tried to kill him, doing you both a favor.
To kill him.
And you didn't appreciate that effort.
I know. Wouldn't you sort of join in on the attempted murder? I don't know.
Alibi her. Be like, couldn't have been her.
Oh, genius.
Couldn't have been her. I just saw her at the library.
I wonder how she tried to.
This is also crazy because she said it's just after high school.
I was just going to say, isn't she quite young?
It seems like
just
she's quite young.
Just after high school in 2022.
Whoa. She's quite young.
Oh my God. What are they doing in New Zealand?
I know. I did like the way she wrote it because I could like hear the accent through the writing.
No, it's so well written.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's really good.
No. Redacted your boyfriend.
Hey, is redacted your boyfriend. No biggie, or so I thought. That is really wild.
I am stunned and at a loss. And there's lots of questions that I hope will be answered. My biggest one is, how long did you date him after? Because you said maybe a little too long.
I would say 5 minutes would be too long.
I know, me too. But I fear she might mean sort of
You gotta tie up some loose ends. Hey, listen, I got a hey girly message and I did stay.
You did?
I did.
Oh.
I got a hey girly message and I stayed.
What was the hey? Why did you stay? Did you believe? Or what was the, if you don't mind?
I believed that the truth of that was going to lead us to like, okay, that makes sense. That's why you've been weird. Now we'll just not have
Move
that
on.
be weird anymore because then you just won't be doing that to me anymore.
Yeah. Hey, I get it.
I stayed. Yeah.
Whoa. For how long?
A year.
Oh.
Nah. I stayed for a year.
Well, you're a girl that commits, so.
I know, and I just kind of was like, I've put in a lot of investment into this. This was my investment boy. I've really built this company from the ground up.
Yeah. You're like,
this was supposed to be my 15-year plan.
Yeah. I totally
can't get a wrench in the system now.
No, you can't possibly.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Got a hey girly.
That's great. I got
a hey girly, and I thought it was so crazy because we're on TikTok. I figured somebody was just like, we get the craziest scam messages in the world.
True. Yeah.
You're getting like the goofiest scam messages. So I saw it. They were like, hey, is blank your boyfriend? And I went to him and I was like, look at this. Now you're getting involved in the scams.
I
went, oh my God, the scammers have gotten so crazy. They're looking at your
name.
You in. Wow.
That is really sweet.
And then she kept going and I was like, hold on 1 second.
Hang on a second.
Wait a second.
And he's like,
the scam's getting pretty elaborate.
Dang.
The scam's got some screenshots. Hold on.
How'd they do that?
Wow.
ChatGPT, of course.
Yeah.
Wait, that's insane.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
I survived. I'm good.
And that's the thing. You survived hey girly messages. And just like this one girl, she survived.
She survived. The man survived just barely. Just barely. Scraped through on that one.
Now she's in prison for attempted murder.
And in person is crazy. How do you know the girl's going to be at the library?
Oh, whoa.
What are you...
Stalking me?
Yeah. How do you know the girl's at the library?
What are you, stalking me?
What are you, freaking stalking me? Yeah, it must have.
She must have been.
She must have just, the cars... Or like gotten the location from his phone?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She must have been doing some freaky stuff.
God bless.
That's crazy. Wow.
That one's a really twisty-turny one.
That's such a good story.
That one's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's really good. It's crazy over there.
I hope you're okay over there.
I hope you're okay over there. And I hope you have a quiet night in. You deserve it.
I think you deserve a quiet night in.
You deserve a quiet night in.
I agree.
Man.
Wow. Let's get every 15 minutes over there.
No DUIs.
To start.
That's really something.
I wonder if he never went to jail, if she would have ever been confronted.
Yeah, that's interesting because the fiance, I don't know what the DUI makes the fiance be like. Because did the fiance already know and then was like, all right, whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
Now the jail means that's enough.
Right.
You've pushed it too far.
I want to talk to both of them.
I know. I support both of them.
Me as well.
I think, obviously, it's not your fault.
No,
Some of it could be legally your fault, but none of it's in the court of this couch. It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
Not your fault.
No.
All right, let's go out of New Zealand because I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared of what's going on over there. Let's go back to Granite Bay.
Okay.
I'm going to Granite Bay. I'm bringing my guys. I got my girls. I got the crew rolling in. What's a hometown high? What do we have to check out?
So there's a couple things to check out in Granite Bay. I would say like the best hometown bar is Sully's.
Okay.
That's kind of like the Thanksgiving Eve spot. That spot? Yeah, I have definitely spent many Thanksgiving Eves there, and it's just so fun. It's just like a little dive bar. They got pool tables. It's fucking awesome. Great. So you got to go get a drink there.
Great. I like when a person likes their hometown dive bar because some people are like, oh, we just go there because there's nothing else. But it's like,
I like
gifted.
it.
I love a dive bar in general.
No, me as well. It's my favorite type of bar, and I would go there if it was anyway. It's a good bar. Yeah, and it's cheap.
Of course.
It's really cheap.
Yep.
Also, there's a small business called Carmazzi Caramel Corn.
Okay.
And I'm not joking. Like, they are the best caramel corn I've ever put in my mouth. It is so good.
Wow.
They sent me a bunch during the holidays to like give to friends, and everybody is sort of addicted. So
incredible.
I don't know if they have a storefront yet, but they are based in Sacramento or Granite Bay.
Get the caramel corn.
Yeah, you got to get the caramel corn, and they do like different flavors and stuff.
Great.
It's so good. Great. And then McCooney's is like the best sushi place I've ever had.
Oh my God.
So good. And anybody who lives in Granite Bay and everybody in Granite Bay knows about McCooney's.
This just came to my mind. You mentioned something about Baysiders. What is that?
Bayside is the mega church.
Oh, that's why you said, okay, because we were talking about who I know in Granite Bay, and you were like, were they Bayside?
Were they Baysiders?
Okay, so that's the church. Okay,
that's the big franchise church, yeah.
Got it.
And it grew, like, physically and just, like, over time.
So we probably won't, that's not my hometown high. I probably won't hit there.
You can't, I mean, listen, Christmas Eve, it's so crazy because like their Christmas services are like 2 weeks long. Every night you gotta buy tickets.
Whoa.
And they bring in like, have you seen like, the videos of like Santa like at the church, like in the air, like flying and shit? They bring that, like that's literally what they do. Like I think
they
every
make like
year,
animations?
No, it's a real person in the Santa suit in the sleigh going up. And also one time they had like the drummer come up out of the floor and spin around as he was like,
fuck. This is why people go. This rocks. This is like objectively very sick.
Fun. And then you talk a little bit about Jesus. Yeah. And I think every year they have some sort of like contender or winner of like America's Got Talent. They bring a lot of America's Got Talent into
like actual people from the TV show.
Yeah.
Wow.
To bring in and perform.
Tickets is sick.
That's wild. Get your tickets. They sell out quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was also told to ask what your favorite spot is in the Safeway parking lot. Is that something that resonates with you?
Yes, it is. Oh my God.
When they said that, I was like, don't set me up for failure.
No,
you're making me look like an idiot in front of Paige.
SPL.
So they were like, ask her favorite spot in SPL. And I thought they were saying Sacramento Public Library. I was like, cool, not good gossip, guys. I'm not going to ask her about the library.
No, SPL. Safeway parking lot. That's where we would buy drugs and alcohol.
Good.
Yeah, that's where we would do that.
Good.
Yeah, in the parking lot, that's where you would meet the sort of. I'm sure we had the same drug dealer and alcohol dealer.
A town legend. I'm
sure.
He
was. He sort of was. Yeah, he was there for.
He raised us
generations.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, and he lived. I think he lived in the apartments right behind Safeway, so we'd meet in the Safeway.
So everyone meets him there.
Yeah, and it was just like a kind of like a pregame spot as well.
Yeah,
like we would meet there and drink in somebody's car before going to a party.
That's what they said, and I was like, oh, that might just have been. But it's like multi-generations, it seems, because they're older than this is going on years.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still a thing. Like my little brother, he's 22.
Okay,
and I have to see if he ever dabbled in SPL because he went to Granite Bay his whole sort of high school career.
Man.
But
okay,
that is so funny.
Really hit,
wow,
then.
That really hit home.
Wow. Okay, and then hometown lows. This is like if you're going, you don't have to hit here.
Mm-hmm.
You could skip this. This isn't the vibe always.
Unfortunately, Folsom Lake was such the vibe when we were growing up, but it's really not the vibe anymore. Like it breaks my heart, but there's not a drip of water in it, I don't think, anymore. It dried up. And it's just, it was such a poppin' place when I was growing up and so fun. And yeah, it's really shitty now and it sucks. Ugh. So you don't need to hit up Folsom Lake unless you're going to you don't need to hit up the Granite Bay side of Folsom Lake. It's pretty big.
Okay.
So Granite Bay side of Folsom Lake, you don't have to hit.
They still call it the lake even though there's not much water.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah, they do.
That's going to be happening a lot.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it was the only water around Granite Bay. You'd think Granite Bay is by water. Is
it not? How far are you from the beach?
No. Like San Francisco's the closest beach. Oh, if you don't count Tahoe. Tahoe's like 2 hours the other way.
Yes.
So we're like not by a bay.
Oh.
We kind of just fake it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's more about the attitude than anything.
I think so as well. It's all about perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I've got my itinerary. Mm-hmm. I'm getting caramel corn for sure.
You have to.
That one's a yes.
It's unreal.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I really like that we also had just some insider knowledge connections.
No, that's so
here.
crazy.
This is fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. I would have never thought to bring up SPL or every 15 minutes, and those were juicy topics.
You have to look at the YouTube.
I can't wait.
Truly, my eyes were boinking out of my head. I was like, there's no way this is a multi-day event. If it was just the car crash, I would have been like, you're doing too much.
Right.
But it was a helicopter?
Yeah.
Listen, that's crazy. And then a full obituaries.
Yeah.
And they printed the kids' photos out this big.
It's like
you're dead.
No, and they're just like, I think some of them like take them home. Like it's
yeah. I mean, if you're printing a 3-foot photo of me,
yeah, and it's so crazy thinking about it because I'm like, no wonder I'm such an attention fucking whore. Like Granite Bay bred that sort of shit. So I can't be too hard on myself. It's just where I was raised.
No.
Yeah. A crazy, crazy little town. Much love for Granite Bay.
To the Granite Bay Grizzlies. Mm-hmm. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paige. I got the whole vibe
I know.
there. Thank you for sharing.
Go.
Where can everybody find you?
Find me everywhere. On Instagram, I'm at Paige A. Gallagher. And TikTok, at P. Galley. And I think that's where I mostly am. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode of Town Gossip. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Town Gossip Podcast and TikTok at Town Gossip. If you have any town gossip from your hometown, email us at towngossippodcast@gmail.com for a chance to be featured.